With Twinbee, we're now entering a new era of the Famicom Disk System. You might recall that when the system launched, Nintendo re-released a lot of their games from the first 2 years of the Famicom, and as new games for the Disk System wind down, re-releases like that become a lot more common. Twinbee is the first one that we've seen from a third-party publisher, and it's pretty far from the last one. On cartridge, Twinbee was the first game released in 1986. The sequel, Moero Twinbee, was released on the Disk System, and we've already seen that. And there's about another year before Twinbee 3 will get released on a cartridge. Twinbee started out as an arcade game, and it's one of the progenitors of the shoot-'em-up subgenre. Shoot-'em-ups that use cute characters and enemies. So rather than spaceships flying through an asteroid field, you get pieces of food flying toward you. Of course, just because they're cute doesn't mean that they're easy. Although Twinbee is pretty easy. The game has 5 stages, and if you're reasonably skilled at a shoot-'em-up, or have played a Twinbee game before, you'll get through those 5 stages really fast. The plot of the game is that the island of Donbori has been attacked by the Spice King, but friendly scientist Dr. Cinnamon has created 2 fighters that can take on the Spice King's forces. His sons get in them and head off to fight. Twinbee is a vertically scrolling shoot-'em-up that fits in the mold of Xevious, where pressing B fires shots towards aerial enemies, while A lobs a bomb at ground targets. The power-up system in Twinbee is the most challenging feature of the game, as it requires that you juggle targets while simultaneously dealing with any enemies that are around. Shooting into a cloud may cause a bell to emerge, and as you shoot the bell, it will bounce backwards, and with every 5 shots it will rotate color. Then if you shoot it again, it goes back to yellow. Yellow bells are only worth points, though if you can get them to rotate up a little bit, they'll be worth a lot of points. It's those colors that appear for a single time that really matter. Blue bells will speed you up, there's 4 levels of speed increase, and you're probably going to want at least 2. The default speed for Twinbee is pretty pokey, and it's tough to dodge anything at that rate. Next is the white bell, and that gives Twinbee a double shot forward. This is pretty useful to get to increase your firepower, though not necessarily the best gun. 5 more shots will make it blink red and white. Collecting this bell will give you an after image that will also shoot, so this will dramatically increase your damage output. However, the after images are mutually exclusive with the power-up that follows it. The red bell will give you a shield, and the shield is really what you want. Once the shield is up, you're probably going to breeze through the rest of the game. If you can't collect a bell of a particular color, then it just skips over that while you're shooting. So if you get the shield, then it'll skip over the after image, and if you get the after image, then it'll skip over the shield. If you keep juggling the bell long enough, it'll turn into a bee, and that bee is an enemy that you'll have to shoot down. There's also things that appear when you destroy ground targets. Fruit is just worth points, and not even a whole lot of them, while a star will destroy all enemies on the screen. A bottle of milk is worth an extra life, but the most useful thing that you'll find on the ground is candy, because that will give you a 3-way shot with your aerial attack, and that is the most effective thing you could use. You might have noticed that Twinbee has arms, and those aren't just for show. If you get hit from the side, then Twinbee can lose its arms and not be able to throw bombs anymore. But when that happens, a medical ship will fly in, and touching that will restore the arms. Though it'll only do this once per life. Of course, if you get hit any other way, and don't have shields, then it's instant death. One of the big features of Twinbee was its 2-player mode. Even on the Famicom, 2 players can play simultaneously, and when you're doing that, you pick up a new move. Twinbee and Winbee can join hands side by side, fly in formation, and get a much more powerful shot. You might be asking yourself, are there any differences between the cartridge and disk system version of Twinbee? And there is one. After stage 3, you have to load up stages 4 and 5. The disk system version of Twinbee is only on one side of the floppy, but it still has those mid-game loading times. In Japan, Twinbee is a beloved classic of the 8-bit era, one of the high points of the early days of the Famicom. And of course, Twinbee was popular enough that it became one of Konami's longer-running series. and Twinbee would show up in plenty of other Konami games. I think Twinbee is pretty good myself, though I would play the cartridge version before the Disk System one. The Disk System version of Twinbee is, well, I'm not going to say rare, but it's definitely harder to get your hands on than the cartridge, which usually is pretty cheap. This version is something that existed so that kids in 1988 could cheaply augment their Disk System library, but these days it's mainly a curiosity.